Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your host MV and K Lou.
K Lou.
What's going on, y'all? It's some foolery. I got a hate phone call. A hater called me this morning. First thing in the morning, I'm like, golly, for real? Oh, I see you didn't text me about Russell. You must not be too happy about it. I said, text you about a trade? You forget who my team is. This is what we do every offseason. I mean, like, I don't get involved with trying to text you to see who we got. Man, we ain't even started yet. We just that's lightweight what we just did, man. And you know, he's a Golden State weekly fan. You know, one of them ones that ain't even know where the city was until they start winning MB. You know, all of a sudden you start seeing shirts and hats, and you like, what? Cause MB and I, you know, when we grew up, we didn't know what Golden State was, first of all. And then by the time I think MB, I was in middle school, that when Tim Hardaway started doing this thing. So all we knew about Golden State was Tim Hardaway. Okay.
Sure not. Don't cheat Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and what's the white dude name? They had the Run DMC.
Chris Mullin.
Chris Mullin. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, Tim was that dude. Yeah, Chris made the Olympic team too. Yeah, so you right. Yeah. You right about it.
Mitch Richmond.
But it was kind of like Tim brought that sauce, that mixtape. I mean, you know, they talk about the crossover, but he had something called a UTEP two-step, which you can really, it look like a crossover to me if you pull it up. So you know, they kind of try to credit AI with the crossover. It's so funny. But Tim was crossing boys up way before then.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
And so you know, and then Chris Webber, I don't know if you remember, got drafted there and brought a little bit more excitement. And I think at that time, forget who he played with. I want to say that Latrell might have been there with him.
Yeah, Sprewell.
Okay, Sprewell. Yeah. So they got exciting again, and then they faded off again, and then came back with Baron Davis. So again, he don't know none of these people though, MB. That we talking about, like, he don't know none of these people. So you know, I call him a weekly fan. You know, they just came last week.
So who you talking to, your brother?
No, one of my boys here. You done talking about
Pat Wagon.
No, Pac ain't leaving the Lakers for no Golden State. Now, I promise you that. Hey, unless they get KD back, he might think about
it. Yeah, I mean, he going with the winner now.
But MB was interesting because he started making some claims, and I got off the phone with him and called Pac Jam, kind of shared with him the conversation, and Pac and I talked about him a little bit, and it was interesting because we started to discuss about Golden State. Well, actually, I'm gonna go back to the conversation with me and Keith. It is my buddy. I said, you know, he said the statement, you know,
Westbrook.
He he ain't great. And I said, he said, because see, I look at greatness and I think, you winning championships and stuff. I said, okay, I get it. I said, but you know, it's funny that if there was one knock on Steph Curry, it'd actually be playoff Curry. Ain't the same, you know, when you at regular season Curry. And he's like, you know, no. Da, you know, he attacked me. And I said, well, I get that, but I said, you know, it's interesting to me that he's the only focal point of a team that's never won a Finals MVP, man. Like Dirk went one time and won. You know, Dwayne Wade won. You know, like And I said, I get it. If you go multiple times, you're not going to win it every time, MB. So I gave him slack on that. But y'all went 3 times. KD snagged 2 and Iguodala. Who? Yeah, I said Andre Iguodala snagged the other. This dude was a role guy that got the MVP on your team. MB, I just told him I don't get it, man. Like, name me somebody else that happened to. That's what I told him. Like, and he was stuck.
Wow, yeah, that's a good point.
And so, I said, so then he changed it up on me. It went, he had to win another round. Then he made the comment, who would you start your team with at point guard, Westbrook or Curry? And I said, it's a tough question because I wouldn't want Curry to play point guard on the team that I wanted him on. He would be a 2 because when he off the ball, he is straight kill mode. So I'm sorry, that's not a good question for me.
Yeah,
and Pac Jam, I'm gonna make this, and then I talked to Pac Jam. Pac Jam made this comment. He said, Steph Curry is the only superstar that all his fans, Golden State people, yell about Clay hurt, KD missing, Draymond down. Like, you don't, he's like, you don't hear that when, a lot of other superstars, it's like, oh, he can't because of this or he can't because of that. And I was like, you know what, man? They do give him passes. Like, he's scoring champ this year, MB, and didn't make the playoffs, and nobody's batting an eye. LeBron was washed up when he had made the playoffs. It's over with. He's on the decline. So it was interesting. I just like, man, that's a little interesting for me, MB.
I see. I know. I mean, good Lord, where y'all find this stuff at? Golly.
Hey, first thing in the morning, they throwing it at me, MB.
But I'm just saying, your comeback with that, man. I mean, I'm sitting here when you talking, I'm like, okay, playoff. Let me look at playoff Steph Curry. Let me see what he talking about. And I mean, you brought up some very good points. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, you brought up some really good points. Definitely good points.
It's just, they whole fan club waiting for Clay to come back. And I'm like, that's interesting, but you got your lead dog. Like, it's like y'all put the same amount of pressure on the role guys. I'm saying they're the fans. It's not like, oh, Curry gonna pull us through. It's none of that. It's like he needs all these other people. And I'm just like, man, what other superstars? And when I say super, I'm saying super duper, the Magics of the world. Magic just did it. He just went to that position and took over. LeBron, heck, you need 2 stars to combat LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like your 2 lead dogs versus him. Now, if you got another one, now you start gaining an edge. You know what I'm saying, MB? But it's 2 against 1 with what he's going to bring to the table. Michael Jordan, that was that same kind of mindset. Like, you got to get 2 guys to put the same output that he's going to put, you know what I'm saying, put out. And that, you just break even right there, MB. Now you got to worry about another top 50 greatest player in Scottie Pippen. Can you match that? Nope. You know what I mean? So that's the problem. But you get the Curry, and it's like he led the league in scoring, and they ain't go to the playoffs, and nobody's badmouthed him. But he's still a superstar somehow. I'm like, you're telling me you can't make it to the playoffs? And you a superstar? Like, if anybody making top 5, top 8 lists, he's on it, MB.
Right.
Aren't all those guys in the playoffs that are also on that list?
I don't know. Let's see.
And I'm saying universal list, like the list Chucky made, where he said LeBron and Kawhi and KD Kyrie. I think he may have not even said Kyrie, did he? I think he said LeBron, Kawhi. He definitely said KD. I'm not sure if he said Harden, because that's my guy, so of course he gonna be on. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he did say his name.
You know what I mean?
No, that's a good point, because I like Steph Curry, and
I do too. I just think we throw that greatness and superstar stuff to everybody, and everybody storyline ain't created equal. LB, it just ain't.
Yeah. I don't know. So you're saying at least he should be able to get him in the playoff. He should be that great where he get him in the playoff.
If we're using that term, that's what I'm saying. Like Dirk never had a problem getting to the playoffs. They just didn't do nothing else.
Right.
I mean, you going to the playoffs. James Harden, heck, ain't have a problem getting him to the Western Conference Final. He just couldn't do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you gonna tell me this guy better than everybody?
Yeah,
like,
I guess I don't know. I think when I look at, because I like Steph Curry, I look at his in reference to when you talking about make the playoff. So I know I give him a pass just because of the amount of injuries that they had.
That's
not only him individual this year, right? But also as a team wise, they had so many different injuries. So I know in my mind, I'm like, okay, I was like, man, they had a lot of injuries and stuff and the rhythm of that and guys hurt. So I kind of give him a pass on that regards. Just the fact that he was hurt, a lot of people was hurt. So in my mind, I kind of give him a free pass on that.
Okay.
And I look at it the same way, and then when he came and play, he showed up, even though they had one of the highest payrolls. I mean, but to me, I didn't think they had enough talent to win, right? They should be a playoff team, but because of the injuries, I kind of
MB, you're not really saying injuries. You're saying Klay Thompson, bro.
I'm saying injuries.
That's what. No. Like you saying the word with an S, and you really only talk about one dude.
No. I'm talking about like they had a lot of guys hurt this year, and I'm obviously Klay. I'm not even factoring in Klay. I think based on the talent they have on the team, they got enough talent where they should make the playoff. I totally agree. So like I say, for me, I gave him a pass because of the injuries they had this year, minus Klay. I ain't even talking about Klay. Minus Klay. I'm talking about the injuries that they had, the amount of guys that they had missed, because we talked about this earlier in the year, and I brought up the same point about how the injuries and stuff like that. And to me, I kind of gave him a pass because of that,
Bro, Atlanta went into the playoffs, man. And we watched them and still can't name their guys.
Atlanta. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But and one of the things, if you heard me, right, when we were talking about who could make a difference on that USA basketball team, MB, you never heard me say, because he Steph Curry as healthy as ever. You ain't hear me holler about him because he's not going to make a difference. He couldn't make a difference on his own team. We're trying to win gold. You can't get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I just think from that's why I gave him a pass, just because of the injuries they had this year, Yeah, that's why I gave him a pass. They had a lot of injuries, and I ain't even talking about I'm not even talking about
hey, look, man. LeBron got hurt the year we didn't make it. They still showed out on me, MB. Everybody was dogging me out, and LeBron went down. They still attacked my late show.
Oh, yeah, you know that. I mean, that's the true king.
Why they did that to me? Like, that's like Steph going down. When he had the broke hand that he called it a season on. When he could have came back in 4 weeks. He called it a season on. Yeah. That hand. Yeah. Y'all let him live.
Hey,
no, my Lakers.
Hey, it's something about when you the king, baby. It's the king. Everybody want to be the king. Well,
No, it's the Late Show, man. It's that jersey he got on. They hate to see us be successful around them, man. Well, yeah, MB, I thought about that. Wanted to delve into that a little bit. That's a sidebar. And what happened to me first thing in the morning? We gonna jump right into he's a problem. Yeah, it was some problems, MB. It's been problems all Olympics, baby. And the first three problems having to be not he's, but she's. She's a problem. And that's Sharika Jackson, Shelley Ann Fraser Price, and the Olympic gold medalist, Miss Elaine Thompson Harrell. Listen, when I tell you, and that was at a my bad. Darnell felt like 9. A 1061 that broke Flojo Olympic record of, I think it was 1066 MB. Was
1062.
62, my bad. Flojo's Olympic record. Be clear now, Olympic record. Flojo still put down that 1049 when Pac Jam, because I missed it. I was driving back from out of town. When Pac Jam called me and told me that, I said, oh, they finna pop all them. All of them broke it. It'll be 1049. Boy, do you know that's what the time was? He was like, I don't know about 1049. Right. I was like, that's the record. And then when I got to the house, MB, I looked it up and I saw Olympic record. That's two different things. But they going to jail. They had broke that. But listen, Jamaica finished 1, 2, 3. LB, we ain't had a chance.
Right.
We ain't had a chance. She's a problem. I mean, Elaine, Shelley, and Sharika. Well, all three of them a problem.
Right. Well, I'm gonna stick in that track vein, and for the USA. And when we talk about their problem, to get the first gold medal for USA track, and typically you're thinking maybe the 4x4 mixed medley, the men 100, or even the women's 100 hurdle. Nah, none of that. Man, you're talking about woman distance. She's the problem. Valerie Allman getting it done. All right, man. Won the competition first throw, 226 feet, 3 inches. Man, in the World's Championship game a few years ago, finished 7th. Man, improved their throw 30 feet. Man, 7-time All-American from Stanford. And basically, man, not two people sleeping on her, right? I mean, she came to the sports late. She was more of a dancer, and she was 6 feet, and the coach had to get her out and trying to find a spot for her. And then one time I was reading that she was going to a dinner and say, well, look, if you come to this spaghetti dinner, one thing you got to do, we're going to make you try to discus. That's the only way you can come if you're going to agree to try to discus, you know? And man, she said that was the best spaghetti meal she had because, man, story short, man, American dream, man, getting it done, Olympic gold medal, getting the USA the first Olympics gold medal for this games. Valerie Allman, she's the problem.
Yes, sir. Hey, keep it in that Shiro vein, baby. She rolls. This lady here, 2 golds, 2 silvers, MB, women's 1500 meter freestyle, 800 meter women's freestyle, them 2 golds. She backed that up with a 4x2 freestyle relay and got a silver, and then a women's 400 meter freestyle. That means, it's like being in track and you running a quarter throughout the marathon or something, man.
Right.
You just running that, you doing everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sound like
yeah. Listen, Miss Katie Ledecky, she's a problem. Just an absolute monster out there, shattering records, trying to become the winningest female Olympic swimmer when it comes to medals in history.
Hey, man, sticking with the Olympics, man, initially I was thinking, I'm going to men's basketball, and I was thinking about Drew Holiday. I said, man, this Joker just led the Milwaukee Bucks, man, playing great defense, inserted him into the lineup, man, helping turn this thing around. But just for you, man. I told you, man. Anytime you talk bad to somebody, they respond.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm talking about the Alpha Dog, baby. Kevin Durant, aka Alpha Dog, showed out finally. He watched this show and say, man, take that, K. Lou. Hey, led the USA, man, with a rout 119 to 84 with the Czech Republic. KD woke up, man, played his best game, all right, since he started Olympics, 23 points, 8 for 11 from the field. And then on top of that, had 8 rebounds, 6 assists. But K. Lou, not only that, man, I told you, heard him talking about it, playing defense, blocking 3-point shots, battling for the boys for rebound, leading the point forward, had, like I told you, had 6 assists, 4 came in the closing minute for the USA team to start that route, man. Hey, the Alpha Dog now became the leading scorer in Olympics history, all right? Kevin Durant, a.k.a. Alpha Dog, take that, K. Lou. Right? He's the problem.
Oh, man, what they here, 500 or something? What Czech Republic record?
That's their second blowout, I'm telling you.
Hey, they must be 500 if we won.
K. Lou say, Durant say, take that, baby. He heard you.
I'm glad, man. Hey, at least get a bronze. We fighting for bronze, baby. Well, look, there's one more problem out there now. It's a lot of problems because we got a lot of medals, but we can't sit here and do this all day, LB. The other problem out here, won the men's 100-meter butterfly, 100-meter freestyle, 4x1 freestyle relay, 4x1 medley relay, and 50-meter freestyle. The beast, Caleb Dressel. Like, who that other dude won all them medals? Michael who? Man, it's Caleb Dressel all day, every day, baby. Caleb, he's a problem. Dressel, baby.
Yeah, 5 gold.
All gold.
Yeah, he's the 5th person to win 5 gold medals. But you know what? When they was showing that list, I was like, man, that's good. But that Michael Phelps, man, that joke was a problem. Everybody did it once. He did it 3 Olympics.
Hey.
3 Olympics. I'm like, he set a whole new standard. Only 5 people did it. 5 people did it once. He did it 3 times. I'm like, God.
Hey, no, Caleb say, man, he went Trinidad James on y'all, all gold, everything.
Yeah, he did. Good Lord. But it made me think. But you know what? Yeah, he definitely was a problem. But that might when I saw that, I was like, I'm sleeping on it. I didn't realize it. 3 Olympics in a row. That's crazy. He's a problem. That's a whole different level. But you know what? Who else a problem? They just was listening to the show, K. Lou.
No.
And who you was talking about earlier? Who you was talking bad about earlier? Steph Curry. He's the problem. Golden State. Hey.
What he did? Had a baby?
They agreed to sign an extension, 4 years, $215 million max. Take that, K. Lou. He said, take that.
Hey,
he's a problem. He wants you to talk more about him. He said he get paid every time somebody you talk about him. So talk about him.
He deserve it. That's not.
I just saw that when you was when I was researching trying to find some information.
That's not the issue. He
know.
Deserves.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with
okay.
you because he just signed. No, I'm just messing with you because he just got paid. He's getting paid again, baby.
he definitely deserves it, baby. So we're gonna move right along. We're gonna keep with this Olympics, man. Simone Biles done had a unexpected tough Olympics, and obviously she came in and we thought she was gonna win everything. And heck, I remember telling y'all about a month ago the Russian coach said we'll beat y'all if y'all ain't have Simone. And she got there and right during the team competition, began to falter and make mistakes, and said mentally she basically checked out, like saying that she was having some mental health issues, MB, and then you fast forward in the media every day telling you, you know, we don't know if she gonna do this event or that event, and they're checking her out of each event. Oh, she's decided not to do it. She's not decided not to do all arounds. She left the team event, and then so I'm like, well, I'm thinking she probably finna go and holler at him, MB, and take her flight back to Texas. And then all of a sudden, Simone Biles is back, baby, and she about to compete in the balance beam, MB. So is it a situation where you feel like my question is, should she compete, you know, at all? And then did she get some counseling, or, you know, what, you know, is it safe, MB?
Yeah, I think based on what's coming out of her mouth, right, is that you're right. Generally, she talked about mental health and whatnot issues, right? And then later on, she got on, I believe, Instagram or Twitter, and she's kind of dig a little deeper in what she was battling.
Okay.
And she used a term called twisties. And what twisty is like where you lose yourself in the air, where you're off balance, where you don't know, you kind of get lost. You know how I guess you.
You don't find your bearings, so you don't know how to land where you are. Yeah.
Yes.
So that ain't mental health, though, is it?
Yeah, I would think it is mental health. What would it be?
Is that not something that's kind of like, to me, physical? You know, even though it's going on in your mind, it's still like I'm looking at that like your equilibrium is off.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't break it down what was the cause of it, right? She didn't say she's got a chemical imbalance or anything like that. She framed it mental health. So I got to take her standpoint, you know what I'm saying, of what she's saying. But she's saying that's what she's dealing with, twisties. And so and I was just a serious thing because I was doing some research, and I mean, I read another article of a woman gymnastic person who dealt with that and try to push through and end up breaking her neck and getting paralyzed, you know?
Right.
So for me, you know, with her identifying that and saying, you know what, look, I'm not right. You know, it's a quote that said, it takes courage to speak up for what's wrong, but it's also take courage to be silent, you know? And just from that standpoint, it take courage. Sometimes we applaud our athletes for pushing through the pain. It hurt, they pushed through, Willis Reed, but then also the courage for her at the height of that Olympics to say, you know what, something ain't right. Let me tap out. Let me pull back. You know, I applaud her with that as well. But what I understand,
I'm confused, MB. So twisties go off and on? Because she's still gonna flip on this balance beam. So I said before, is this safe?
Well, for her standpoint, the only time they said with the balance beam that it's gonna, as far as twisting, is her dismount. Because usually she does a dismount, she does a twist in her dismount, but however, she can make an adjustment and do something else, you know? So maybe she felt comfortable enough, like, you know what? If that's, I can handle that. I could make an adjustment on my dismount and then get by it. So maybe that's the thing, because, you know, obviously from the standpoint of watching the Olympics, she's engaged. She's been a great teammate, cheering guys on, and da. So I don't think, and it seemed to me from a world standpoint, obviously she's got a whole lot of sympathy for what she battling, rightfully so. So I guess maybe she feel like, you know what, I can handle this. Let me go ahead and do this. I can make adjustment on dismount. She never really came out. I'm just assuming she never really came out and says, okay, this is why I think I could do it. Because da. So common sense would tell you maybe she's gonna make adjustment and not do a twist and do something else. All right, to get a bearing. Who knows?
Man, I look at situation, you know, it's usually more cut and dry for us. I mean, if you hurt and you can't go, don't go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not necessarily. Go ahead.
And I know, but if you're facing something that puts you at risk to get hurt, I think that's the same thing.
Yeah, no doubt it is. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's pressure from somebody saying she gotta go. Hey, you gotta
No,
go.
I'm saying from her. Like,
From
I'm
her
speaking to
standpoint,
her when I'm saying that.
yeah. And so from my standpoint, just her competitive juices and whatnot, and she was like, okay, you know, I think I could do it. Is she? I'm hoping she's the one. Obviously, she's the one making that call and feel like, you know what, I got it under control. I've been practicing. I feel good. I feel safe right there. You know what I'm saying? Whatever
But
way
we
she
know
measure it.
a lot of times we shouldn't be the ones making that call.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody else got to make that call. But maybe that's what I'm just assuming. I don't know. Her coach,
Right.
I don't know what went into this decision-making process. All I can tell you from the research I did about dealing with twisties, all right, the balance beam is just the dismount that you, based on what you do, that basically everything else you said it doesn't affect it. It's just the dismount and she can make
Hey,
an
well,
adjustment.
if I'm her people, I'm saying, hey, look, make them bring a ladder and let you walk down the step on the dismount. Bump that dismount. That's where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I mean, you hope that, obviously, based on what she's going through, you hope that, man, that's the last thing you want to see, you know, for her to get hurt or something like that. So hopefully she's got enough people around her that got the courage to speak up and say, you know what, based on what I see, babe, you're just not ready yet. You know, you shouldn't take that chance. So obviously I'm counting, because it's no different than you talk about your alpha dog, KD, right? He wanted to play, push through, end up tearing his Achilles, you know, in the championship game, you know.
Right.
So hopefully, you know, it's with what she's battling. God, man, hopefully she'll be okay. Like, she's making the right decision.
But I guarantee you, you know, like, that's a decision that probably all involved wish could have been different. Meaning, like, you know what I mean? I know, given the same set of circumstances and the information that he got, which was can't get any worse than it already is, and it did. But you know, obviously, you know, he nobody wants to get injured, to be shut down for some time. So I think, you know, being Monday morning quarterback, that's an easy decision to make. I'm just saying, hey, if it puts you at risk, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree.
Well, we had two high jumpers, MB.
Yeah.
Tiberi and Barsham. Look, man, two high jumpers jumped to their heart's content, ended up both missing their final. They were tied going into their final jump. Both of them missed the jump. And they brought them over, MB, which was amazing to me. Again, Olympics are so fun because you learn so much about different sports. We were watching volleyball the other day, and they were talking about touching, and I'm like, who touched what? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just getting to that. And so you learn so many rules and about so many other games that, you know, they high jump. I'm like, cool. Uh-oh. And then they get down to the nitty gritty, MB. Both of them missed their final jump, so they still tied. And the referee, or judge, I guess, in that sense, bring them both to him, and they go to talking. Then all of a sudden, the one of the guys jump into the guy. I can't even think of where he was from, MB, but Qatar, Italy. Okay, the Italian jumped into the Qatarian arms, and they celebrating the goal together. And I was like, hold on, rewind that. What just happened? Please explain to me. Talk to me. Don't act like I know what's going on. And they said that during the talk, MB, they asked them, did they want to have a jump off, or did they both want the participation trophy? You see where I went with it, MB, already. I done told on myself.
Yeah, I see.
So is this true competition, man? Oh, MB, I was hot. I was hot. So I asked Tamika missed the explanation. She saw what had happened, but she missed the explanation. So she came back, you know, in there to watch the rest of it. And I said, honey, I pressed pause and I said, honey, I gave her what happened. And I said, so what would you choose? She said, I'm in the Olympics. I'm going for gold. We got to jump it on. I was like, thank you. I ain't crazy. I thought I was crazy. It would be because everybody was celebrating with him. And I'm like, what? You ain't jumping off? And then MB, the Italian had broke his leg, what, a year ago, a couple years ago? So he had his cast out there from when he broke his leg. Man, I would have saw that cast, baby. We gotta jump off, LB. I feel like that leg gonna give out on it. So what you think, LB?
All right, so let me give you a little backstory on that and see if this changed your mind. Right. So first of all, let me ask you a question. I thought it was great. Initially, when I looked at it, I was like, "What in the world?" Like
we was watching it live, LB. So right. All this I'm giving you is my emotions live.
Yeah, exactly. So when I saw it, and came across it, I was like, "Why didn't you do the jump off, man? Screw that. I'm going for the goal." You know, but then when I read the story, it's a made for Hollywood story, and I was like, "Oh, I see now." I mean,
Brian song, man. They Brian song in it.
Yeah, they are. Because basically what happened, you mentioned about the other guy, you know, had his cast out there, right?
Okay.
The other guy ended up experienced the same thing in 2016. And then
both of them broke their legs.
Both of them broke their legs. And then on top of that, because of the field events and stuff, you spend a lot of time, those guys are actually great friends.
Okay.
And so both of them, and then the one you talk about, the cast, like people doubted.
The Italian guy.
Yeah, the Italian guy. People was basically, he brought the cast out because people would let him know that they was telling, that was his motivation. He couldn't come back from it. And that guy who he's competing with helped him through that process. Like that guy, that Italian guy was came to the guy wedding. I mean, they got a real relationship.
Oh, wow.
Like a brotherhood relationship. And I was like, so when they got to that point where he asked him, he said, "Can we both get gold?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." It was like a no-brainer because they was like, "You know what? We both can win in this situation." You know, it's like you and Pac Jam.
Oh, there y'all go, man. With y'all go with these tail jerkers. Y'all gonna get LB every time with these tail jerkers.
No, I'm just saying, like, I agree with you. Initially, when I saw it, I was like, man, but when I got the backstory, then I more was sympathetic and I understood the why. For me, it's like, okay, because I'm like a Thunderdome. Two man and a one-man league, baby. Yeah, it's like Coliseum mindset. But when I saw the backstory,
Master Blaster.
When I saw that, then I was like, wow. Okay. I understood the why, and I could see he was like, "Can we both get a goal?" And it was like, man, it was like, okay, I see it, you know. And what was got to know when to fold them, know when to hold them. And when they both agreed upon it, I was like, man, they both win, you know. And we talk about sports strip, like, you know, it's like, you know, you talk about, I know when you come with the disagreement, you try to make it win-win for both parties. And so I looked at it different when I got the backstory. But initially I had your same thought, but when I heard the backstory on it and got the why, I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's a Hollywood movie.
Callie, Asher, Ava, y'all go down swinging. Don't go out like that. I don't care who it is. Y'all gonna be going against each other. Go down swinging. Just let it. Excuse me, MB. Excuse me. I ain't mean to be rude.
No, bro.
Hey, that's how I feel about the story you just told. You hear how I feel about it.
Yeah, I see that. To each his own, man. To each his own.
Cutthroat, baby.
Yeah, to each his own. It was why? I mean, it was great to me. It's like, man, we both come on top. We both winning, and it's not like they competed to get to that point, and just the odds of that happening. Because I think in track, the only other event that could happen is pole vault, where you have a jump off, all the tips and everything the same, and just to get into that moment is like a perfect storm or eclipse. And it's like, wow, that's just crazy. It's just because of their relationship, it was a no-brainer for them, you know? Because the dude said, man, if it was anybody else, man, we'd have to jump off. But because of what we both went through, you know, it's that brotherhood of it. It's like, you know, it's you know, it's one of those moments, I guess.
Oh man, Hollywood all over it already, huh?
Hollywood, baby. I'm telling you, Hollywood.
Well, wow, MB, we gonna make it back to the NFL finally, man. We gonna make it back to what that emblem say on your hat up there. Washington football team, baby, get used to it. I gotta tell you, I gotta be honest. Every time I see WFT, I'm like, man, why they cussing again? LB, I can't help it. LB, what they mean? What happened? Hey, so Ron Rivera warns his players on another outbreak that could cost Washington its opener after 6 people hit by COVID, MB. And basically, I say he's saying what we already know. I mean, we've been following what NFL been talking about, and they basically saying it's a zero tolerance, and that they could end up forfeiting the game behind it. However, MB, like, Ron, what else can be done? Because I'm gonna cheat, MB. 90% of the league vaccinated. So if 90% vaccinated, MB, then it's some vaccinated people still popping up with COVID, MB. So and then here go my other thing. Oh, I'm gonna skip that. You go.
No, go ahead.
No, because it's a second question. So I'm gonna let you talk about that and answer that.
Yeah. I guess basically from my understanding, when I read the article, Washington is one of the lowest unvaccinated teams, meaning
right.
They have the highest amount. So it's his plea of saying, you know, emphasizing, hey, the cry of we need to
get the shot.
Yeah, go get the shot. It's the rally cry, you know, of that, you know. And so that's the point he's trying to make. But I'm on your point, like, it still's proven, because you look at right now, I think it's 13 people. They had a count of people that came back who was vaccinated and still got the virus,
right?
You know,
right?
And so to me, it's like misleading because it's still an issue. You know,
right?
Just because you vaccinated or unvaccinated, right? From a standpoint of it spreading, it still's an issue. It's not,
right?
You know, it's not. It's just a layer of protection where it's preventing you from being hospitalized or, you know, seriously injured or, you know, seriously sick, but still an issue, you know?
Right. So here go my second.
Still dealing with the same issue.
Right. So here go my second question, LB. Why is the NBA smarter than us, man? NBA smarter than NFL. They just ran a whole season and playoffs with regular people. You know what I'm saying? Meaning not in a bubble, MB.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't have none of these issues.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing, MB?
When you say issues, you're talking about issues as far as, I want to make sure we talking about the right issue.
The NFL is talking about canceling games, man. How many games got canceled with basketball, man? You know what I mean? Like, they played, man. How many times we heard of players going down with COVID? Very few. Like, how they getting it right, MB? Please explain to me. Cause Adam Silver finna be around and take over the NFL too, man. I'm telling you, the NFL owners keep looking over there and saying, man, they playing ball around there. They don't play the whole season. They overseas right now. They still, they done had one situation and they all out overseas and stuff. What are they doing? We obviously can't get done.
Yeah.
Adam, come take over the NFL too, man. For real, MB, what is he doing? Somebody need to talk to Adam Silver for real, MB.
Yeah. I mean, Well, let me try to figure it out. I guess with football, I don't know. It's
Tell me, they spitting, breathing in each other's face the same way. Actually, feel like we. Hey, it's very few times you really face to face to anybody in football. LB, if you really think about it,
right,
in
in
the
the
huddle
trenches,
is the
baby.
only time.
In the trenches, and also in the trenches.
Yeah, well, not
yeah,
really. You shaded a little bit, and
then you got more guys that you got to deal with. Basketball, you got 15. Football,
correct.
you got a whole lot more guys, so you got more guys to manage. You know.
Hey, it's them darn means room. Keep them boys up out of there all day, man. We tired of being in there for 6 hours a day in the mean room.
Yeah.
That's what is happening.
Yeah. So, but I think, but I think with basketball, what may be different is that basketball, vaccinated or not, they still, if I'm not mistaken, they keep the same rules, the same protocol. You know what I'm saying? Same COVID testing and measures, stuff like that.
MB, at the end of the day, whatever they did worked.
Yeah,
it ain't working, and we ain't even started yet.
Yeah. But the NFL, they come on a different approach. They got that bully ball, man. They like, okay, they got that Ike Turner threat going on, you know. So so that's a whole different approach right there.
It's just blowing me though, MB. I just can't wrap my head around it. I'm struggling. We just watched a great basketball season and playoffs, and never once the regular stuff happened. This guy got injured. Well, that wasn't all that regular because it was all the superstars, but it was injuries. It wasn't nobody out with COVID. You know what I mean? It ain't.
No, I mean games. People was out with COVID.
Correct. Chris Paul missed the one, right?
Yeah.
Behind it. Contact trace. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Right.
But at these numbers, like they already scared they gonna be canceling games. MB, that's what I'm saying. We didn't have this issue. And think about it. And the rules were different too, because think about the contact tracing with Chris Paul. Obviously, the whole team was around him, but they played. They suited up. They played. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. That again, Adam Silver knows something the rest of us don't know. Evidently, LB, he need to take over the NFL at least for the next 2 years till all this COVID stuff go away, so that we can see a full season and a full playoffs. LB, because I'm already at the point where I don't think it's gonna be week to week around here with the NFL, like it was in college.
Yeah, and the thing. I mean, the NBA, like I'm looking at it, they had some. Obviously, they had a bunch of games was postponed, but like I said, the NFL they're trying to do that that Debo technique.
Yeah.
Like, look, if we postpone,
we want your money,
and then we end up have to forfeit, especially as it start getting late towards the season, and we're scrambling around trying to get this thing done, and we can't make it happen. They're trying to do the strong arm to force guys to get vaccinated. You know,
right?
That's the thing. That's the biggest issue where they trying to force guys to get vaccinated, you know? See, and that's the bully ball.
But see, I believe that even if they're able to accomplish that, it's not going to have the desired result that they think is gonna happen, LB. They'll just be out there playing with vaccinated COVID-19 players that still got it. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is crazy. So,
but I'm saying that's the thing. To me, they're trying to just strong arm guys to get it. They're trying to force guys to get it. So that's why it's an issue. Like NBA, they're not trying to strong arm guys to get vaccinated. Right. And so that's the biggest difference between the two, because they got to deal with postpone. They got to deal with that stuff. But the NFL is trying to force guys to get vaccinated, you know, and so that's where it's a huge issue because of what they're trying to get accomplished from it, you know.
Right. MB, I'm gonna tell you, Philly won the trade already. That Carson Wentz trade in Indianapolis, they already won. He already done hurt himself. He out. What did it say? How many weeks, MB?
5 to 12 weeks.
Which is very odd, people. Just let me throw that out there. You don't get 5 to 12. You get 4 to 6, 6 to 8. You know what I'm saying? It'd be 5 to 12. Listen, man, don't be surprised the season overfilled, man. Who throwing out weeks like that? It'll be what other injury then you get a 7-week grace period. Who does that?
well, it's because it's basically because what they're doing, they're removing the bone, so they just don't know how his body's gonna react to it. You know?
So what I just said, do not be surprised if it ain't the whole season.
Yeah.
Because he has a lot to lose. And when I say that, not necessarily financially, but he wants to have a career. He actually wants to be great. He ain't going back out there if it feel a little bit funny. I'm telling y'all, so please don't hey, I'm gonna tell you, Philly is gonna be a little upset though. LB, they don't get their first round pick out of it because he is not playing no 70% of the plays this year. But Philly still won the trade, MB, because Carson done already did what Carson do, and they ain't even they barely suited up, MB, and you know he ain't got touched.
Yeah. I don't know. I disagree with this part. I think I think when you say that if you feel like it's not right, he'll shut it down. I don't know. I think it's the other way. I think even though it's his 5th year in the league, he only played 2 full seasons. And I just think right now that if he feels any kind of way, like he's got to push through the play. Because to me, it's like making or breaking for him. You know what I'm saying? Because just think about this. If this doesn't work out for him, then man, his next step was probably out the league. So right now, because he's been dealing with so many different injuries, from ACL to fractured back to now dealing with his foot and and Frank Wright, you know, he's the quarterback whisperer, you know what I'm saying, and the relationship he has with him. I mean, shoot, if he can halfway play, I mean, to me, he's got so much pressure on him to get back on the field because he want to resuscitate his career. That I think if he can play, if he's not 100%, if he feel like he can play, I think he'll push through it as opposed to shutting it down.
I have no doubt that he's not gonna do that. Well, he just signed a 4-year, $128 million right contract.
I don't know what
that was with Philly, and then they signed and traded him. He got that 128 from Philly. Okay, so LB, that dude ain't going out there unless he feel right.
Yeah,
and they can't get rid of him. First of all, I remember one of the vets in New York, and I can't remember who said this to me. MB said when they die, they coming back as a first-round pick. So that's how many chances they get. Okay. He say when he gone leave here, he coming back as a first-round pick, baby. Because they get plenty of chances. You forget Ryan Leaf, I think, was on 3 or 4 teams, MB. And that's kind of one of the biggest busts ever. He was on 3 or 4 teams. You really got to be a real turd not to get multiple opportunities when you're a first-round pick. And I think, I mean, you could probably I could probably pull up a litany of players that had plenty of opportunities after they drafted in the first round, because in the NFL they feel like that organization messed up. Like they better coaches than they were. So they'll pass you around for a while before everybody believe that you can't get it done. And I mean, for Philly to put that much money behind them, and I don't have no doubt whoever would have got him before then would have put the same money behind him. Telling you, he's not. First of all, they can't afford to get rid of him, and then even if they did, another team's gonna scoop him right up. But I feel like he gonna shut it down this year, man. I don't think you got me so now. I don't think he coming back. That 5 to 12 just don't sound right at all to me. You do not hear that. They generally know all this stuff has generally been done countless number of times because we play the same sport, so we really get the same injuries. Listen, man, he done shut it down 2021, he done this year. Carson will holler at Indianapolis fans next year.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Just his mindset, what his competitiveness. I don't know, man. I think the guy wants to play. Like I said, it's Philly. You brought up for Philly is the one gave him the money. Indianapolis, they didn't give him the money. They trade for him. So obviously giving up a third round pick this year, and then now it'll be a second round pick next year. Obviously, it's not going to be a one and done. But I just think from Carson's standpoint, with all the frustration he's been through, right, that we talk about if it's all right for Simone Biles to continue to try to, compete tonight. But I just think with him, if he's whatever percentage that is, I just see this dude pushing through.
MB, why though? Because he's had no pressure. He's done the same thing and was awarded $128 million. Why would he change what? I mean, I call him crazy if he changes what he's been doing because it's working.
What in the sense you trying to say the man he's stealing, he's shut a dude trying to compete?
MB, I'm saying what he's doing is working because he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. So it's working. It's not like he making, kicker money. You know what I'm saying?
The dude want to play though. The dude want to play. He's competitive. He want to play. You saying he's shut
he
down?
Is playing.
You say he got the money. He's shutting it down. Like
no, I'm saying because of the money puts him in a position to say, "Hey, I ain't ready yet." That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm saying, based on what I heard about him, I don't think that's not his mindset. The dude wants to play. He wants to revive his career.
LB, you also just told us and educated with he done played 2 years, 2 out of 5 years. That's what you just told. You educated us. Full season. Okay.
Yeah, full season.
So he's used to doing what he's doing right now. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't going down that line. Man, the dude had a legitimate injuries, man. He had an ACL fracture back,
MB, what I'm not doing is I'm not trying to say he faking. Okay? I'm not putting that on him. I'm just saying what he's doing is working, MB. You can't argue with that. So I'm saying this: if what he's doing is working, why would you change up now?
Yeah, well, like I said, the guy's more competitive than that, because you see guys. I mean, we talk about KD, right? What's the point? Why even take a chance? Why even play? Dudes, I mean, the passion and love for the game. I think he got more love and passion for that. And besides, from a contract standpoint, right? These remaining years on the contract, ain't none of this money guaranteed. So
how much you got up front though?
Ain't none of them guaranteed.
16 million.
Yeah, ain't none of it guaranteed.
Okay.
The money that he got.
So this a 1 year deal. He gone there, MB. He'll be somewhere else next year because he ain't playing.
But I'm just saying though, from a competitor standpoint, if you got any type of competitiveness in you, like I said, you want to go out there and compete. And just the fact this dude was in talk for MVP candidate when he was hot and whatnot, he's got some fire in him, man. I just think the dude want to compete. He want to play. I think so.
Well, we sure gonna see.
I know that was me. I'll be trying to get out there and play,
Everybody ain't you, MB.
But I'm just saying what I heard about him, man, is that he wants to compete.
Hey, you committed on being the best, baby. Everybody ain't going out like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, it'll be, and I'm sad to say, man, they were paying me like that, and I ain't even gave y'all nothing. I'm gonna keep down that line, cause y'all may get crazy. I've been around and be too good right here. Y'all might start underpaying me, cutting me short. Pulling the Aaron Rodgers on me. Aaron got the bag for money. They throwing money at Carson. Hey. Oh man. Well, man, we definitely appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all for coming through, pulling up, hollering at us, because you know us. from sideline to baseline with MB and K Lou. Hey, y'all, we are gone.
Peace.